What's up, guys? I hope you're all doing well. Super excited. I have another map and area tour for you guys today. I love doing these. Part of my job as a real estate agent, and one of my favorite parts is actually jumping in the car with my buyers and showing them where I live and showing them around. And in those, we focus less about houses and focus more on area, because in my experience, people buy area before they buy a house. So I hope you guys get some good information out of this one, and it helps you with your decision on where you want to relocate to Scotts Valley. And I hope you have fun with this one. What's up, guys? It's Jose Salas with the Living in Scotts Valley channel. If you're new to this channel, it has everything to do about what it's like to live in Scotts Valley. So if you find this information helpful, you're going to want to hit the subscribe button. If there's certain content that you want me to make that you think might be helpful, throw it in the comments. Happy to help. And lastly, if you are thinking about relocating to this area, my phone number and email will be in the description, so feel free to reach out to me directly. And yeah, this is going to be a fun one. Today we're going to actually be going through the vineyards in Scotts Valley, and I'm going to have a special guest, for the fact being that he used to live here with his family and own a house in the area. And yeah, I think I just want to really dig into his experience of what it was like to live here, and I think it'll be super helpful for you guys. And you know, because our schedules kind of were a little wonky, and you know, he's a busy guy, so am I, so schedules weren't really aligning. What I'm going to do is we're going to do the video tour first, the vlog, and get our feet in the neighborhood, and then we're going to be doing a map tour so I can give you guys like a general overview of the area. And then lastly, I was really hoping to get us in a house, but unfortunately there's nothing on the market, and there's about 1 to 3 sales in this neighborhood a year. So I didn't really want to wait till something popped up on the market to get you guys in a house. What we're going to be doing is doing a video of I'm gonna basically go on my MLS, and we're gonna see some of the houses that have sold in the past, and that way you can get a idea of what the houses look like and what the sales prices look like. I think it'll be super helpful. But anyways, guys, looking forward to this, and just waiting on my special guest, and we'll get out there. All right, guys, I have my special guest here. This is Ryan Buckholdt with Cross Country Mortgage. He is the go-to guy to get a loan around here. He does, like, I don't know if this is right, but I feel like it is. He does at least like half the loans in this county. Super good guy to work with, but that's not the important part. The reason that we have him here is because he's lived in this neighborhood, and he just wants to go through a little bit of his experience of what it was like living here. So first of all, we're walking, you guys can see this, the back of the community park here. This is a parking lot. That's the vineyards over there. We're going to be walking through a special back way, and kind of cool to note that you have access to this while living here. And it's kind of a bit of a walk, but you know, over here, we'll walk through this after, but there is a community park, a community swim center right there, and it actually backs up to Glenwood Preserve as well, which is a really fun trail. It's really, really beautiful. I actually took my son there for the first time yesterday. He had a lot of fun. There's like cows and ground squirrels you'll see. But yeah, it's a fun one. And Ryan, just to get a little perspective from you, how long ago did you live in this neighborhood or in this area?
So I probably lived here about 4 years ago.
Okay, so that's pretty fresh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I lived here for about 1.5 years.
Okay. Why did you move to this area in the first place?
Well, actually, our primary residence, our house got flooded. I came home from vacation and had water in the whole place. So we actually had to rent a house where our insurance found us a place to live. So it was actually right here in the vineyards for about 1.5 years.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not awesome that your house flooded, but at least you got to live here, and it's pretty fresh. And okay, so it was a house that your insurance was paying for. So the only reason that you left is because your house was was ready, I'm assuming.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, cool.
So background of me, I'm born and raised in Santa Cruz, but I've lived 36 times in Santa Cruz. So I've lived in lots of different neighborhoods.
Pretty much every single neighborhood in Santa Cruz.
Yeah, kind of feels like it.
Cool. But see, this is kind of walking into the neighborhood. It's like a suburb, and if you saw the last video I did the video on Sky Park, and kind of has a similar vibe, and not a lot of neighborhoods are like this in Scotts Valley, like these little cookie cutter developments. This is very similar to Sky Park, and actually the houses were built around the same time, but these houses are a lot bigger and a lot more expensive. That's pretty much the biggest difference. If you can kind of see over here, we're getting close to the main street right there, which is Scotts Valley Drive. I'll point it out more on the video map. Ryan, anything like fun that you kind of did in this neighborhood?
Yeah, this is actually a really cool neighborhood. There's, you know, 2 entrances in and out. So basically, for all these homes back here, there's only 2 ways of getting in and out. And so basically everybody kind of knows each other here. So everybody looks out for each other, which is super cool.
That's cool.
All the neighbors were super welcoming. What was actually really cool was we were here for Halloween. And if you've seen the movie E.T., where basically all the kids are running around on Halloween night, that's exactly how this neighborhood was just everybody out having fun and, you know, engaging with everybody. And we actually had to run back to Scotts Valley Market, which is just right down the road, and get an extra stockpile of candy because there were so many kids.
Dang, yeah. I would say that's like whenever I have a potential home buyer who wants to buy in this neighborhood, it's always people that want to have like a very an area that they could have their kids like safe, in a neighborhood where there's not a lot of cars driving by, quiet, and these like really private streets. That's one huge positive. Would you say there's any other positives about living here, like from your experience?
You know, at the time, both my kids were going to Scotts Valley High.
Okay.
So Scotts Valley High is actually, instead of even driving there, they would walk the back way, go through the little trail right there, and they were immediately at school within 5 minutes.
That's right.
That is pretty cool in regards to it. However, we have the schools right around us.
Yeah.
So at 8 o'clock and 3 o'clock, they can get a little congested because families are picking them up.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So in the past, I've had people kind of interested in this neighborhood. They were kind of fearful of the noise of the freeway, which we can kind of hear right now. Do you get that a lot when you're actually inside the neighborhoods?
So actually, you know, these walls actually do a really good job. We were just walking around back there, and we heard birds, and we heard everything that a quiet neighborhood would feel. So right when we got past this, yes, it did get a little noisy right here, but inside there, I didn't hear it at all.
Yeah, I have to agree. I didn't hear it that much either. And then there's this road right here, which it's Scotts Valley Drive, which turns into Tabor. You know, people go about like 35, 40 on here. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of a pro and con living by the freeway. The con being people are fearful of the noise, but then again, I didn't hear it much. But the pro being you're right there, and if you're going to be commuting over the hill to the Silicon Valley, it's about 20 minutes to 25 minutes north. So yeah, another con to look out for from my own personal experience, I rode a bicycle over here and there was a bump somewhere, and it was like 6 a.m. and I felt so good. It was after a long workout, and I ended up putting my hands up for like a second to stretch, and I hit the bump and I fell at 6 a.m. So watch out for that bump.
Good tip.
Yeah. And let's see here. I guess another con that I could see, and this doesn't go for everybody, but it's a particular buyer, but there is an HOA in this area. It's pretty low. It's about $250, whereas Sky Park did not have an HOA, but everything's really well taken care of and well groomed. From what I know, it's just community maintenance. Ryan, I don't know if you had much experience with the HOA. Do you know them, or?
I guess so.
Okay. See, everybody knows each other in this neighborhood. But did you feel like, I don't know if you had much experience with the HOA, or maybe even heard of anything from your neighbors of like, were they good? Were they very intrusive? Did they have a lot of rules? Were they pretty relaxed?
Yeah, you know, I never actually had to talk with them.
Okay,
so,
cool.
Nope,
okay,
everything was good.
So they just go and mow the lawns and stuff like that and take care of the trees?
Yep, exactly.
Okay, cool. And then, so you can almost say that 250 is like for landscaping, pretty much.
Yep.
But yeah, a lot of these houses, they do look the same. Were built in the early 90s. It's about 100 houses over here, maybe a little bit over. But you can see why people want to live in here. You know, it's kind of hard to find an area that's just like really flat in Scotts Valley, because naturally we have like a kind of a mountain terrain. So a lot of times you're buying houses on a grade, and with this you don't have to really deal with it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of cul-de-sacs in this area too, or in this little subdivision. And you know, I grew up on a cul-de-sac a couple times, you know, in my 36 times moving. But you know, there's nothing better than that. Is, you know, being out there playing baseball, playing whatever, and you know, being a kid in the cul-de-sac was pretty cool.
What did you find yourself doing over here a lot for fun? I know you work a lot, but I know you have a lot of fun as well. Did you ever find that you were like attracted to doing things in the immediate area? I don't know if you're a hiking guy at all, if you went out there at all. I'm just throwing stuff out, but
yeah, there's actually some pretty cool trails right over there for hiking and mountain biking over there by the high school.
Okay.
By the high school.
North of the high school.
There's always basketball courts. There's always tennis, pickleball. There's kind of everything right here.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty cool, just being everything centrally located.
Yeah. Like
we just took literally a 4-minute walk, and
that's true.
We covered a lot of ground right in here.
Yep. And I'll show you guys more of this on the map tour. But you know, we talked about the community park, we talked about Glenwood, we talked about Ryan's mountain bike trails, which is a little bit further down than the high school. Are those the trails that you were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Those ones are pretty cool. They don't have any cows though, not like the
Yeah,
Glenwood.
no
Yeah. So I don't want to get too close because I hate getting cameras close to schools for some reason.
Yeah.
That's the elementary school. That's Vine Hill School, Vine Hill Road, Vine Hill School Elementary. The high school is a little bit that way. We're going to be walking towards that a little bit more right now. I'm trying to think of anything else.
You know, just having shopping right here. Scotts Valley Market is such a great market. Like, gets, you know, meats and stuff there, and you know, they have a great skirt steak over there, and tri-tip.
That's good to know.
It's just a super local market that carries local stuff. It's right there, literally 4 minutes away. Pretty cool.
See, that's why I'm glad I brought Ryan, because I've literally never been there. The last time I tried to go there was during the tornado, because I wanted to get some water and it happened to be closed because all the power was out. So yeah, there's that. Something to note too is, you know, if you're moving to this neighborhood and you have kids, and you have kids that are in middle school, the middle school is on the other side of town, closer to Mount Herman. But I live on Scotts Valley Drive, closer to the middle school right now, and there are kids constantly on bicycles and, you know, in their little cohorts walking all the way to the middle school. So, you know, it is a walkable distance. It's kind of far. I walk, gosh, I'd almost say it's probably like a 30-minute walk, but if you're on like a bicycle, it's a lot quicker, probably like half the time. I see a lot of kids on e-bikes as well. So yeah, guys, that was the tour of the neighborhood. I'm gonna check out with Ryan here, and we're gonna go check out the trails after. Okay. Everybody say bye, Ryan.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Yep. All right, guys. So said bye to Ryan. He had to go catch some more work. So I'm gonna take you guys to Glenwood Preserve and kind of walk through the community park as well. So this is the beginning to the community park. There's a couple softball fields. There's some more softball fields and baseball fields on that side too. They have soccer going on around here as well. I don't really come here much on the weekend, but whenever we do come out, it's usually on the week, and we'll usually see like softball practice and stuff going on. But yes, the house is over there. We're just right there. Literally, when I said bye to Ryan, it was just where that parking lot is at. If you could see that. So we just crossed the street. But we're getting to where the swim center is right here. And where we're walking right now, we're going to be getting close to the high school. And closer to Glenwood Preserve. So we have the high school on the other side of this, and some more baseball, softball fields over here. We do have little soccer stuff. I don't remember there ever being like any tournaments or soccer games here at all, but it looks like I don't really even see lines at all either, so I'm not sure. Maybe it's just a place where people practice at. We're actually going to be walking up to a community that we'll be doing in the future, but it's a Deerfield. It's another little suburb, another cookie cutter suburb, and those houses are bigger than the ones in the Vineyard. Those ones get closer to the 3,000 square foot mark, and up 4 or 5 bedrooms are pretty normal over there. I don't think they have the biggest of lots, but guys, we're walking right into Glenwood Preserve. Check this out. So this is one of the trails right here. So something to note is you can only walk so far with dogs on this trail. So if you like going hiking with dogs, this one in particular you won't be able to go on. That's because it's basically a gated area to where there's cows, and I don't think they want dogs chasing cows. But the area that Ryan was talking about, it's a little bit past the high school. That's a good place to bring your dog. Mountain biking is, you'll see a lot of mountain bikers up there. I don't think I've really seen many mountain bikers on this side. I don't think there's any rules against it, but anyways, I didn't think I was gonna go on a full hike, but I really want to show you guys this. Check that out. Little trail. Little fun fact. Me and my wife really like coming over here a lot, and we just got a little hiking backpack for my 9-month-old. And yeah, we took him here yesterday. It's a lot of fun. He was in a bad mood on his last wake window, and we were planning to come here all day, and he was in such a bad mood that I almost didn't want to do it. But we took him over here and he loved it. He loved the little ground squirrels. There's millions of them running around. And I don't think he really registered the cows because they were kind of far away. But yeah, me and my wife, we took our engagement photos over here, which maybe I'll add a few in, but specifically on this bridge, and some of the pictures we took a lot further out. But yeah, some of the pictures we took right here. There's like a bridge right here. This is the gate that I was telling you about. So you walk over here. I think I'll cut the video at the bridge because I just want to show you guys a little bit of what's in your range of living in the Vineyards. But I can't go on a full hike right now, unfortunately. I do have these dress shoes that are like, but check it out. There's a ground squirrel right there, and you'll see a bunch of those around here. Hey, how's it going? Check these views out though. It's super beautiful. Another tour I want to take you guys on at some point. There's the houses up there. Shit. That is Tabor Way, and yes, I almost fell. But the road that we were on, Vine Hill School Road, that goes right into that neighborhood, which again is Tabor Way. Not all the houses have views, just the ones sitting on this side of the hill. think. I don't know what trails we do here, but we usually can get trails done in like 30 minutes to an hour. But this is the bridge that I was telling you about. It's kind of the beginning to the trail. And maybe I'll throw in some photos from when we took our engagement photos there. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the vlog tour. Let's head out to the map video. So let's check it out. So here we go. Vineyards. This is where it's at. When Ryan and I started, this is where we're at on this parking lot right here. And we walked around over here through this street and down to Scotts Valley Drive, where we talked about the road noise and the highway noise. But first, I want to give you kind of a general overview of the area. So all of this is like in town Scotts Valley. So is this as well. This is everything on the other side of 17. Highway 17 is right here. This is the Vineyards. So we were kind of like in oh, sorry, I skipped all this part, but this is all part of Scotts Valley as well. So this is kind of on the north end of Scotts Valley, but still in town, not in rural Scotts Valley or anything. Some of the things that we have by here, didn't mention this when we were walking, but you have Kaiser right here. If folks have Kaiser, this is great. Vineyards is really, really close. Where I walked afterward when I split up from Ryan, right here. This was the park. This is all East Glenwood Preserve. This is where the cows are at. This is West Glenwood Preserve. This is where Ryan was talking about. This is where you can bring your dogs. This area you cannot, because there's cows over here. Actually, they roam all around, but you'll usually see them towards the end of the day, closer to the gate that I took you to. So you have Vine Hill Elementary right here. The high school is right over here, right off of Glenwood. Let's see, you have another private school on this side, which is Baymont. It's a Christian school. That's elementary through middle school, I believe. I don't think they do high school. And what I was telling you about when I referenced where the middle school was at, this is the Vineyards over here. Middle school is down over here, basically on this corner here, I think. Let me see. Yeah, going on Bean Creek, so this is the middle school right here. So it's kind of a long walk if you're gonna have kids going to middle school, but it's doable. It's probably like a 30-minute walk, one way. And like I said, there's kids that ride their e-bikes and bicycles, and you see them all in the morning making the trek. Let's see here, you have a little shopping center right here. This is where Scotts Valley Market is. This is, Ryan referenced this. I didn't want to break his heart, but I actually have gone there once and I wasn't too big of a fan. My wife hates it. She'd rather like Sprouts or something come in, or Trader Joe's, but that's a matter of an opinion. They have groceries, so Los Gallos is right here, the Mexican food place, Starbucks. Los Gallos is pretty good, by the way. I'm not like a Mexican food connoisseur, but I think they have pretty good Mexican food. I really like it. Far East Kitchen. If you want to grab some sushi or something, I've been there for sushi. It's pretty good. Let's see here. It's a good gym on this side. I haven't been to it personally, but I hear a lot of good things about it. It's kind of on the bougie side from what I've heard. Enterprise Sports Club. The high-end equipment and stuff. Heard they had like saunas and stuff there as well. I'm not sure about cold plunges, but I've heard saunas for sure that they have. Yeah, the shopping center here. They have Scotts Valley Feed. right here if you plan on having chickens or something. But yeah, this is, you can see Vineyards is a relatively small development. I think I mentioned it earlier, but it is a little bit over 100 homes. And there's probably like 2 to 3 sales tops in a year. So it's really kind of a low inventory market. I'd say some positives that, you know, I might be overlapping here, but some positives or things that kind of attract people to this area are the privacy within the community and just having streets that are safe for kids to roam around and have friends and not have to worry about getting hit by cars, versus being like on Scotts Valley Drive or on even Bean Creek can get pretty fast. I think there are relatively newer houses built in the 90s. A lot of houses in Scotts Valley were built between the 60s and 70s, so you have a little bit of a newer era house here. Some things that, and then also another positive is being super close to the freeway. I think a lot of people that commute over the hill really like that. And I'd say there's a lot less traffic than on this side of town. Just again, because you have a lot of the more popular amenities that people go to over here. And then also Mount Herman, people use this road to cut through to Felton and everywhere else in the mountains, Ben Lomond, Boulder. I don't think many people will go through here to go to Boulder Creek. If they're coming from the Silicon Valley, they'll probably take Bear Creek, but Mount Herman attracts a lot of people, all this. So there is a little bit less traffic on this side. Like a lot of the amenities on Scotts Valley Drive, I would say really they don't attract as many people as the amenities on the south side of town. So you get people that go to the few amenities over here and just pretty much people that live here. Say some negatives from when I've spoke to people who wanted to buy in Scotts Valley and why people would take the Vineyards off of their plate. Say some people just don't like cookie cutter houses, like in a development where everything looks the same. Some people want a little bit more character or just a house that looks different. So I get that a lot. Some people just won't really try because of the low inventory. And some people don't want to be that close to the freeway. That's another one. And I've heard people, like I mentioned before, talk about like the fear of the freeway noise, even though you don't really hear it in there. And I've also heard that some people also just want a little bit more privacy, a little bit more spaced out from the houses. I mean, the lots are pretty decent sizes for the area. You know, they're anywhere between 5,000-6,000 square feet and just kind of in that range. And, they kind of have the similar vibe to Sky Park, to where, like Ryan was saying, Halloween gets pretty crazy and the streets get full, but not everybody wants that. Some people do, especially people with families and kids. But I've definitely heard of people that don't want to be part of that, and they just want a more quiet community. So just keep that in mind. Let's see here. You also have a couple little bars over here. I've never been to them, but I've heard Steel Bonnet's pretty good. That's definitely a walkable distance. That's probably like a 10-minute walk. And Two Doors, never been there as well. And then kind of in a cool distance away from where the farmers market is at, which that runs, it's a seasonal farmers market. It has changed, it's right here, it has changed location in the past. I think they've only been here for like the last maybe 2 to 3 years. When I originally moved to Scotts Valley, the farmers market was closer to Sky Park in a parking lot in the church. They have the farmers market here now, and that runs from May through November forgot what day it's on. It's only on it's usually Saturday or Sunday, one of those, and it's early in the morning. I think they end like around 12 to 2 or something like that. You have Scarborough Lumber right here. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I think if you're okay, if you want to be really close to amenities and are okay not having more desirable amenities for the purpose of having like more of a priority on privacy and just lower traffic, then this area would probably be a little bit better for you. And so yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna go ahead and jump over to my MLS in a second here and get that all ready for you guys, so that way you can see what some of the houses look like in the vineyards. Today we're gonna be going through my MLS to check out some homes in the vineyards. Again, I would love to walk you guys through a house that was on the market, but unfortunately there's nothing on the market. And you'll see here, I pulled up the last 5 years of sales in this neighborhood, and so this is since 2020, and there's 12 sales, so it's right in line with what I was saying. There's about 2 to 3 sales here maximum a year, and there's just not a lot of movement in here. So as you can see, these ones were closer to 2020. This is closer to now, with the highest sale being at 1796. This was the most recent sale, I think actually, is 205 Porto at 1.6, because this one was in 2023. And yeah, this is the most recent sale in 2025. So this one was listed for 1.499 and sold for 1.6. So just so you can get an idea of what pricing looks like, it'll probably be closer to that now. And going back to the list view, first we're gonna go through like the average lot size. Everything's about 6,000 to 8,000 square feet on the lot. And as far as the square footage of the structures, they're in the mid 2000s. So they're pretty decent sized houses, between 4 to 5 bedrooms. And yeah, let's walk through some of these. So this is the one that was in 2023. It's almost priced at 1.8, so I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna wanna see it. Ooh, unfortunately, this one was sold off market by my buddy Matt. And that's why there's only one picture. Agents will do that because they wanna basically show this as a comp for appraisers. So this one was actually on the market. I remember I was pretty close to looking at this one, but my clients shifted directions last second. But check it out. These are all on fairly flat lots, so you get to enjoy most of your backyard. This one looks like it has some grading in the back, but more towards, it's not much of the yard though, that's graded. Yeah, these were built in the 90s. This one looks like it wasn't really updated much at all. Looks pretty original. Besides some of the flooring, looks like they have LVP in a lot of different areas. And yeah, let's see if we can find a different one. Let's close that one out. Let's check here. So this is another off market, which is seems a little bit more common in this area because there's people that just want to live solely in here. And you know, people will do what they need to do and contact homeowners in there to see if they could set up an off-market deal like this one. Only one picture again on this one, but it sold in 2023 as well for 1,560. This one looks like it could be a little bit more updated. So this one sold in 2021 for 1.4, so you can see the price difference. This one was pretty nice though. It looks a little bit more clean and updated. A little bit more of an updated kitchen. Not really an open floor plan. Kitchen looks a little closed off. A little bit more compartmentalized. But yeah, this one's pretty nice. I'd say something like this nowadays in 2025 probably would sell for above 1.6. Probably closer to the 1.7 range. Pretty decent backyard. I think you guys get the idea though. This was during COVID. Everybody had to wear masks still in owner-occupied houses. Let's check out this one. But you can kind of tell there's like a similar theme going on. A lot of these look, again, like a cookie cutter house. And again, that's why some people either like or hate this neighborhood. I do meet people that they want their house to look different than everybody else's and want a little bit more character, and that they just don't want everything to look the same. Some people don't care. I think these yards are big enough to enjoy, but small enough to not have to just put so much of your time and effort into maintaining it, which makes it great for people who commute, and especially being on the north side of Scotts Valley, which makes it quicker and faster and easier to get to the Silicon Valley. This one looks like it still had some owner touches to it. Nice little view of the back area here. This is probably the park. But yeah, pretty nice houses. You can kind of look at it at a map view. These are all the sales again in the last 5 years. And yeah, guys, hopefully that was helpful. Alright guys, I really hope you enjoyed that tour with me today. I had a lot of fun, and I hope it was super helpful for you figuring out what area you may want to be in Scotts Valley or you don't. Don't mind the water in my shirt too. I don't know why I spilled a bunch of water on myself right now. I took a sip. But anyways, it's super hot and it feels really good. I'm very klutzy for some reason. It's just who I am. But if there's another area that you had in mind that you want to learn about, please drop it in the comments. Maybe the areas that, more people say they want another area tour on. Maybe I could kind of start with those first and just kind of get it out of the way like that to help a little bit more people at once. So if you want to keep seeing stuff like this and it's helpful for you, make sure to subscribe every single time I do one of these area tours or any of my informational videos on Scotts Valley. You'll get a notification for them. And lastly, I want to remind you that if you are really thinking about moving over here in the near future and you need my help, this is what I do for a living, so give me a call and don't be afraid. My contact information is in the description. So yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.